The Out of Bounds Show podcast is brought to you by BankPlus. BankPlus, it's more than a name, it's a promise.
WRKS Pickens Jackson.
All systems go.
Live from the Whiskey 61 Lounge inside the BankPlus Studio.
This is Out Warning.
Live in the studio. It's the Out of Bounds Show with Bo Bounds. Streaming live worldwide on the Out of Bounds radio app. And on your radio at ESPN 105.9.
All set? Let's go.
The Zone.
Well, good morning. Welcome in. Woo! The Out of Bounds Show, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for making us your SEC football show of choice and your sports and entertainment show of choice in the great state of Mississippi. 3 hours, 7 to 10 a.m. Don't forget about the Power Hour. We are so excited to offer that. ESPN 105.9 The Zone team is so excited to offer that. Tuesday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., the Out of Bounds Power Hour. That's right, and it's brought to you by the Golden Moon Casino Sportsbook and award-winning Dancing Rabbit Golf Club. And that is award-winning DancingRabbitGolf.com. By the way, I'm a fan. I am a fan. I am definitely a fan. I'm a fan of Dak Prescott playing tomorrow night against the Saints in New Orleans.
Be a fan of him finding a win.
Yeah, they need to find a win. They're on a bad skid here, and they need to get a dub. I will not be rooting for the Saints.
Taysom Hill's New Orleans Saints.
But Sean Payton's a freak, and you don't ever know when he's going to pull out a dub. So nothing would surprise me in the NFL, considering all the teams are just about even. But Cowboys at the Saints at the Superdome tomorrow night. 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. Again, don't forget about the Power Hour, Tuesday through Friday, 6A to 7A. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your ex-girlfriend, whoever. Your ex-wife, and we want you locked in on the dial from 6A to 7A for the Out of Bounds Power Hour. And again, the 105.9 The Zone team is super excited to offer that. We know you can't get enough of our crazy Out of Bounds show. You can hit us up on the Farm Bureau Insurance call-in line, 601-707-3750. Twitter. I haven't checked Twitter today, Blake. Twitter handle, @BoBounds. So I don't know if anybody's up, but I'm sure they are on the Twitters.
Just waiting for the next person to get fired.
Yeah. Manny Diaz.
I mean, that's what we feel like. Could the hammer drop in this show? It does feel like that could be the case.
Did you just say hammer?
Stop. It's hammer time.
Wow. Twitter handle, @BoBounds, powered by RPT and Rick's Pro Truck. Spray and bedliners lift kits, ricksprotruck.com. And then your Ag Up equipment, Mississippi Ag text line, 601-885-3776. Want to say congratulations to Matt Corral for winning the C Spire Conerly Award last night at the Country Club of Jackson, where I received a text last night that Mike Leach hung around and had a couple of beverages with Ole Miss and Mississippi State, but it was more Ole Miss than MSU.
But it's too toxic.
It's too toxic.
It's too toxic.
Oh, wait, the game was played in Starkville this year and everything was fine.
Speaking of which, why did Kirk Herbstreit not put his admonishment onto the Ohio State Michigan?
All right, well, we need to set
programs.
this up. For
this
our
is
listeners,
garbage.
After the Mississippi State Tulsa fight, after the bowl game last year.
Fight is such a loose word.
I know. Whatever. Scuffle. Is that fair?
Yeah, kerfuffle.
Okay. After the scuffle last year, after the MSU Tulsa game, where everybody got very sanctimonious, and Kirk Herbstreit got on a mic and needed a Kleenex and said, I don't know how college football is going to recover.
It's broken the sport.
It's broken. We had a fight. I'm sorry, a scuffle after a game. Anyway, Kurt needed some Kleenex, and
he'd spent like 5 minutes on national television going off on that.
Well,
it was ridiculous.
I've told you why. He's super close to Craig the Pony James, and by proxy,
an anti-Mike Leach.
Yeah, he's not a Mike Leach guy.
They got their ass kicked last year. They're soft as cotton.
Soft as cotton.
Soft as a what was the thing that Pillsbury Doughboy?
That's right.
Pillsbury Doughboy.
So,
man, why do people beat up on the Pillsbury Doughboy like
he's
that?
Cute and cuddly.
Yeah,
he's a little softy.
Okay.
I do love biscuits.
That was some good. You don't remember this? That was some good advertising in the 80s.
Oh well, they were still running.
Was
the
it still
Pillsbury
running when you were a kid?
Yeah, they still had the Pillsbury Doughboy. Yeah,
I checked out of that stuff in the 90s, but man, I mean the Pillsbury Doughboy.
You used to poke him
advertising was really good. Let's just be honest.
They would poke him in the belly, and he would do that little giggle.
Laugh.
Yeah, he'd do that.
Yeah,
and then you'd all eat biscuits together, and it was like the world was at peace.
Yeah. Is it biscuits?
They
or
do,
is it cookies too and stuff?
Pillsbury does a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Anything
cool.
with dough. But the point of all that was to say Kirk Herbstreit did not go off on Michigan and Ohio State.
Oh, that's right.
When they
so
had
Michigan
their
and
locker
Ohio
room
State
fight.
had a scuffle.
Yeah.
No, they had two.
Yeah.
Okay. They had two during the game, and I just needed someone to give Herbstreit a mic and some Kleenex a little bit later in the day. Now, that was the Tito's Vodka Bloody Mary game.
It was.
That was the 11 a.m. game. I watched, if I didn't watch every snap, I watched
most of it.
98% of that game. It was so good.
Smart by Fox.
And Wendy cooked something.
The big noon kickoff.
We were
it's been
home.
successful.
First time in a while on Saturday. I can't remember what we put together. It was a monster day. You know, speaking of, I mean, obviously Ole Miss beat MSU on Thursday, but Blake, Saturday was an unbelievable day of college football.
It was the day of the upset. We talked about that.
I mean, I even watched, I had two TVs going. I even watched Florida and Florida State just because Greg Knox is probably the best coach to ever coach in the state of Mississippi.
2-0, baby. That's all that matters.
You know, when you're batting 1,000, you're batting 1,000.
It is what it is.
And then, of course, as the day went on, Bama and Auburn gave us all kind of theatrics. And then you went into the evening, and you know it was LSU, A&M at LSU, and so it was one of the best college football weekends. I mean, it started with Ole Miss MSU, but it was one, and then Friday was pretty good. I
missed the LSU Arkansas game.
I did watch Missouri Arkansas on Friday.
See, having LSU Arkansas on Fridays, I loved that. That to me was such a highlight of the rivalry weekend because that Friday afternoon, it always started at like 3:00. It was the weirdest start time, and Arkansas and LSU would just have these insane battles. I mean, I can remember them going to like 6 overtimes one time. Like,
but all Bama Auburn was great. People don't like the new overtime rule.
It's too early. I wish they did 3 regular overtimes and then went to
and then
it.
Go to the 2 point.
They go too early to it.
So some people don't like it. Others just like the drama. Period. Just because it's there's so much on the line every play.
I don't want to tie, so I'll take that over the tie.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, somebody posted that they would rather them tie than do that.
Nope.
And I'm going to go with Coach Paul Bear Bryant, who said, and I don't have a sister, but he said. A tie is like kissing your sister.
They'll suckle.
I don't even know if he could say that today the way that people are offended, but he did say that in like 1970-something. I think maybe Bama tied in a big game. I don't remember. Maybe it was Notre Dame. Maybe it was Auburn. Maybe it was Tennessee. I don't know.
Well, a coach in Alabama would know all about that. So.
Well, oh, wow.
Be here all week. Thank you.
Wow. Well, we'll just wrap up this segment with that. It was National Mississippi Day yesterday, and we had so much to get to. I didn't really get to do a deep dive on that. And so we will talk a little bit about how awesome this state is and the incredible blues music out of the Delta, among other, places in the state of Mississippi. Our amazing culinary scene that only gets better. We were the ones that called it first and started talking about the culinary boom in the state of Mississippi. Hey, if you love Mississippi, I'd love for you to do this today. Will you follow Visit MS on whatever platform you like? Visit MS. That's our tourism. Visit MS on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. It'd be awesome. And share it. Back in a second with the big board. Good morning. Welcome in on a Wednesday.
Swoochy Boochie, good morning to you.
The Out of Bounds Show podcast is brought to you by Boar's Head. Premium meats, cheeses, and hummus. Boar's Head. Compromise elsewhere.
What's on the big board?
Good morning. Welcome in. The big board is brought to you by Mississippi Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Center. For any orthopedic hiccup, sports injury, they've got you covered. MississippiSportsMedicine.com. By the way, I want to thank y'all. You know, when we mention a partner on the show or someone who works at that clinic or restaurant or business, and you tell them, I can't tell you how far that goes for us. We appreciate it. And, you know, I mentioned, I don't know when this was, Blake, maybe a few days ago, that I had run into Dr. Graham Calvert, spine, you know, back, neck doctor for Mississippi Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Center. And he shot me a text and he said, hey, thanks for the shout out. So I appreciate it. We appreciate it when whatever we're talking about, when you tell someone from that business or if we're dropping a name or whatever, that's a big deal for us. And y'all do that a lot. And it is greatly, greatly appreciated. The big board this morning, Matt Corral, C. Spire Conerly Trophy winner. Blake, did he win it last year?
I thought Elijah Moore did, but I have to go back and look.
Elijah Moore won it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ole Miss has gone back to back. That's right. We didn't have it till like May.
Yes.
Yeah, because of COVID.
Yes.
I got it. I'm back.
It threw everything off. That is for
Yeah.
sure. But I was pretty sure Elijah won it.
So Matt Corral walked away with it. He should win the Heisman. Blake, you were looking this morning. Do you think right now he will be invited?
That's the great question. They only invite
He
three
should.
now.
They only invite 3?
It's from what I understand, they're only inviting 3. Now, that could change, I guess, in theory, but
Maybe it's been like that
only
forever,
3.
and I just
It's been that way
forgot,
for a
Blake.
while.
I can kind of see Peyton Manning and Charles Woodson and whoever the third guy was right now. So maybe it's been 3 for a long time because that was a long time ago.
Pretty sure
And then
it is.
Eli Manning, Larry Fitzgerald,
And
Jason White.
That's right. The man who won it.
Was it Jason? Is
Yeah.
his name Jason White?
Yes.
Okay. I always want to say Ryan White. Is that a
I don't know who that is.
is that a CIA op analyst in some movie or something?
Not that I know of.
Okay. I think it's just 3, and maybe it's
I
been
think that's
3.
correct. Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say it, the trophy's been devalued, but it's still freaking awesome if you're there and
Yeah.
you win it,
Well, as our friend
right?
Dave,
I mean, it just
yeah.
it in 1978 it was, you know, it's huge.
Yeah. It's also morphed into a most popular quarterback on the most popular winning team award.
Right.
Whereas it
Right.
used to legitimately be David Hellman, our friend who is a LSU graduate, but Dallas Cowboys insider, who's been on the show before.
You just said insider.
Yeah, DallasCowboys.com.
Am I an insider?
You're inside the studio.
Okay.
You live inside the head of some of our listeners.
That's a good point.
He wrote a good article about the MVP in the NFL and the Heisman in college and how they've kind of morphed away from best player and into best quarterback on a winning team.
Yeah.
Right? So it's kind of a different award than it was 20 years ago. But I think Corral's going to he could be invited, but he might be on the outside looking in.
Okay. Well, he won the C. Spire Conerly.
Where does he, now that he went 10-2, they are, I think, all but guaranteed a New Year's. I think
They're
at,
in.
At worst, they're in the peach. At best, they're in the sugar.
Yes,
right.
They're in. They're going to their first New Year's Six bowl since 2015. Like,
yeah, when they went to back, right?
yeah.
14,
Before
15.
that, they had gone to the Peach, Georgia, and the next year they went to the Shug. Go ahead.
Where does Corral's season and his tenure in Oxford, the 4 years, sit for you?
It's probably the best season in the history of Ole Miss football, but you have to understand the allure, the popularity, fame, last name, and everything else
Yes.
of Eli in 2003. Look, both are amazing, great college football players.
I agree with what you just said.
I think he has produced the greatest season at Ole Miss.
Correct. But his legacy won't be bigger than either of the Mannings. I agree with that.
Yeah,
because
it's impossible.
He had to either.
You weren't there then because you were 10 years old. But I went to the Grove a lot in 01, 02, and 03 because of the Eli thing. And 03 is when I started doing this, and it was Eli's senior year.
Yeah.
And when I tell you it was mass hysteria, it was insane.
Yeah.
It was insane. So, people thought they were famous because they were in the Grove.
Yeah.
It was not anything towards Eli because he didn't make this, but it was insanity. They were already in growth mode, but
Tubbs had just started winning.
Well, and they also had some leadership in town. Okay.
Yeah.
And so they had a combination of leadership in town and growth mode. But his presence and his play took it to another level. I think Corral has driven them to the best. He has produced the best season in the history of their
quarterbacks.
And somebody's going to throw out some stats, and I don't care about stats. I mean, what he has done as a playmaker far exceeds anything else that's ever been done on that field.
And the team he did,
and that's not taking anything away from Eli or Archie.
The team he did it with was less talented than even that team in was it 15 that we talk about all the time that was so offensively so elite.
Oh, Chad Kelly.
They had so many more skill players that were high level on that team.
I mean,
Corral
Matt had a good group.
But not like that. Yeah.
Out of Bounds, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. Hey, don't forget about the Power Hour. The Out of Bounds Power Hour, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., Tuesday through Friday. So we're doing 4 hours of Out of Bounds 4 days a week. And on Monday, obviously, we do our 3-hour show. But we're very excited. Hey, you can stream it on the Out of Bounds radio app. You can stream it on your iHeartRadio app. You can stream it on thezone1059.com. Now, we would love for you to download the Out of Bounds radio app because that means you always got the show wherever you are. In the neighborhood, on the treadmill, at Fondren Fitness. You're traveling, you're here, you're there, you're in Atlanta in a hotel, you're in New Orleans in a hotel, you're in Tupelo in a hotel, you're in DeSoto County in a hotel, whatever. For Blake, he's in a brothel. I mean, wherever you are, when you have the Out of Bounds radio app, we're with you.
That's right.
Right? I mean, even if you are at the Cabaret one night in New Orleans or wherever, you can still hit the pod.
We've had people
while you're sitting there enjoying yourself.
We've had people tune into the app in Indonesia, in Saudi Arabia, in multiple parts of Europe, in
Those
South
are military
America.
people.
Yeah,
which,
it's all
shout
over.
out to both our active and our veterans. We love you.
We're worldwide.
Yes, true.
Only worldwide show on the
and
station.
we're still killing it in Atlanta. Atlanta is a monster market for us. All right, big board. What's going to happen with Manny Diaz at Miami? Will he get fired any minute now? They're on Eastern time. Y'all all know that. So it's 8:23 there. 8:23. Manny Diaz at Miami, you would think that they're going to let him go today. I mean, look, I know his dad's powerful. But I don't think, look, he was powerful enough to get him the job, which is incredible. Again, Manny Diaz's dad, 2-time mayor of Miami. You think you know people all over the world? If you're the 2-time, I mean, right? Billionaire businessmen to drug cartel and everything in between. That guy has sat and drank and ate with some power players when you're the 2-time mayor of Miami. And Manny Diaz's dad was the 2-time mayor of Miami. Good morning. Welcome in. We're live in the BankPlus Studio. The show is powered by MississippiSportsMedicine.com. Shout out to Dr. Graham Calvert and all of the outstanding physicians and surgeons at Mississippi Sports Medicine.
The Out of Bounds Show podcast is powered by Breezy Oaks Ranch. For Mississippi-raised premium Wagyu beef and heritage pork shipped straight to your door, visit breezyoaksranch.com.
All right, SEC Insider Hit this morning is brought to you by the Purple Mattress at Muskelly Sleep Store and any of the 7 Muskelly locations. The Purple Mattress. Try it out. You'll love it. I've been sleeping on one for 5 months. Cutting-edge technology. It's the Purple Grid is so cool. It's American-made. Instantly adapts to your body and doesn't trap heat. The Purple Mattress at Muskelly Sleep Store or any of their 7 locations. Good morning. Welcome in. Ole Miss ranked number 8 in the college football playoff rankings. 10-2. 10-2. I'll give you the top 4. Georgia is 1. People believe that Kirby's going to walk the dog this weekend with Saban. Can you imagine if he blows Saban out, which some people are predicting? I mean, Dave Bartu is modeling this thing that Georgia could just run them out of the Mercedes-Benz Georgia Dome. Holy Mary Olzab. When was the last time Saban got run out of the stadium? Let me think about that for a second. We'll have to chew on that for a sec. Georgia is 1, Michigan is 2, Alabama is 3, and Cincinnati, who has no business in the top 10, is 4. And then you've got Oklahoma State at 5. They're playing in the Big 12 championship game this weekend. Notre Dame is not because they're not in a conference, which is ridiculous. Ohio State is not in a championship game at 7. Ole Miss not in a championship game at 8. Baylor is in the Big 12 championship game at 9. And Oregon is Blake, is Oregon in the Pac? I mean, obviously, they won the Pac-12
Yes,
North, even after losing to Utah.
They play Utah again.
Oh, do they?
Well, they're not in the same side.
Okay, yeah. It's kind of weird that Utah's in the Pac-12 South, but you are correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's much like Missouri being in the East.
There you go, my man. Oregon in the Pac-12. And will Mario Cristobal take the Miami job if they fire Manny Diaz? Will Lane Train? Why hasn't Lane Train signed his contract? We've said it before. We'll say it again. As soon as he agrees to it, signs it, Jimmy Sexton signs it for him, whatever. Jimmy Sexton's chief of staff. Ole Miss already has the press release ready. He'll be on Twitter in 0.0002 seconds. I don't know. Something to think about. And then Barry Switzer wants Mike Leach at Oklahoma. So we've got all kinds of fun, crazy stuff going on. Hey, are we going to go to the Farm Bureau Insurance call-in line?
Let's do it.
All right, 601-707-3750. It's championship game weekend. Will Kirby Smart walk the dog on Nick Saban and blow him out? 21, 24, maybe more plus points. Do you see that happening? We're live in the BankPlus Studio. Our callers join us on the Farm Bureau Insurance call-in line. Rebel Greg would like to weigh in on Matty Ice Corral. Rebel Greg?
Hey, good morning, guys. Just want to give you my 2 cents on Matt Corral and, on winning the Conerly. Actually, I didn't know if he was going to win it or not. I mean, the numbers that Will Rogers put up was pretty dramatic, and I think the next 2 years Will probably win the award. But when we first recruited Matt, I saw some of the film and knew from day one he was the real deal. Then think back to his first Egg Bowl, the little incident in the end zone, and I'm thinking, man, the first thing I thought was, we don't need a thug at quarterback. I mean, out there wanting to fight. But as the years, he had a chance to bail on us, and he stuck with it. Not only did he grow as a quarterback, but he grew as a person. He matured, and it showed on the field. And just want to give him props that on the award. And y'all have a good morning.
Okay, buddy. Yeah, well, I mean, I think you've just had a blast this year from Labor Day to Thanksgiving weekend. As Lane started talking about in August, I hope you soaked it up. Again, first-round talent, most important position on the field, biggest playmaker in college football, can hurt you with his arm and his legs. What else do you want? And I think he's made of elastic, plastics / silly putty because nobody could really bring him down. I mean, he limped around a little bit several weeks ago, but that man can take a blow and get right back up. And Nick Fitzgerald was one tough SOB. Now, obviously, Nick was bigger than Matty Ice. But now Fitz took a lot more shots, but Matty Ice had to win you. He willed you to Arkansas, Tennessee, LSU. Obviously, you don't beat Mississippi State without him. He willed you to, what was the A&M? I mean, even though he didn't run as much because they were saving him for the golden egg, he just the threat of anything that he did put so much pressure on defenses. And he's a special player, probably the most talented player to ever play that position at Ole Miss. We're live in the BankPlus, and there's been some good ones. We're live in the BankPlus studio, out of bounds, ESPN 105.9 The Zone, WRKS. Hey, want to let you know real quick. Can you lock in with me for a second? We have the Out of Bounds Power Hour Tuesday through Friday from 6 a to 7 a.m. And the 105.9 The Zone ESPN team is super, super, super excited to bring you that. So Tuesday through Friday, you get the bonus Power Hour, 6A to 7A. Please tell your friends and your loved ones that we are on Tuesday through Friday, 6A to 7A, and may grab some more time. Out of Bounds, ESPN 105.9 The Zone, is brought to you by the Purple Mattress at Miskelly Sleep Store or any of their 7 locations. Go in, lay down on the Purple Mattress. It's over. I love it. I've been sleeping on one for 5 months. Now, and by the way, it's American made, instantly adapts to your body, and doesn't trap heat. Wendy and I love it. Now, let's get back into this weekend. Thank you, CWR. Local is so much better. 6A to 7A. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you listening. Is Bama going to get their blown out? I mean, Bartu said one model had it 41-6.
Whoa.
Now, Georgia is giving up did you tell me 6.9 points per game?
6.9 points per game.
And how many total for the year?
84.
84 points they've given up this year. Now, look, Georgia's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Now, they hadn't played anybody.
No.
Okay? It's just one of those years.
Is Tennessee the best offense they played?
That's scary.
That's about it.
That's scary because Tennessee's not any good. But and obviously Florida wasn't any good, and Kentucky's not really that good, and South Carolina's not any good, and Kentucky, Missouri's not any good, and Vanderbilt's awful. But they lived the dream. All right, they got Auburn early, took care of business, and they hosted Arkansas, right? And Arkansas, if you remember, got 5 delay of games on their first possession, and they punted from the parking lot, and then that didn't work out. And then Georgia, put 21 on them in like 6 seconds. Kirby wants to beat Saban and beat him bad.
Yeah.
Saban beat him in the national championship game, and then last year, Saban and Bama dominated Georgia in the second half. You know how many points Georgia scored in the second half last year against the University of Alabama? Roll Tide?
Roll Tide, Paul.
Roll Tide. 0.
Oh.
0. I know that terrible Dan Mullen who coached Florida within a possession in the SEC championship game and a possession this year with not near as much, with not even close to the personnel. Kirby got stomped last year by Bama. It was not it was boring. I remember watching it going, Georgia can't get a yard. Georgia can't get a yard. They couldn't get a first down.
Yeah. The problem is they're not taking that Alabama team on this Saturday.
Now, this year, Georgia could blow the doors off of Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. I keep thinking, can Bama throw it enough to make this thing competitive, even with their really, really bad right side of their offensive line?
Well, that's what I was about to say.
Which I'm worried.
Yeah.
I just want to know, is Georgia just going to eat them?
Yep.
That's the way I see Georgia's D-line. They just, eat people on the field. So as I'm looking at the left side of Georgia's D-line and the right side of Bama's O-line, I'm going, how's that going to work? What is Bryce Young going to do?
Get murdered.
Well, I mean, is your game plan to dink and dunk them?
You got to get it out quick.
Yeah, I mean,
There's no doubt.
Here's what we're going to do. We want you to get the ball out of your hands.
Immediately. Immediately. You mentioned.
And will Saban, real quick, will Saban let it rip? Will he let it rip, or will he and Bill O'Brien play conservative, which they've done this year?
Yeah. Which
plays right into Georgia's hands. And all it takes is a couple of 3-and-outs.
Yep.
And Georgia walks the dog.
Yeah, it's
you realize that Stetson Bennett IV could be a national.
Yeah.
Not only is he going to own the Athens Country Club and sell more mutual funds than anybody in the history of the state of Georgia after being a walk-on, now starting quarterback, right? Mr. Ranch Dressing.
But if he wins a national title, they're going to make a movie out of it.
He could be a national championship quarterback.
There will be a 30 for 30
If
from
I was
ESPN
him, I would do both.
Yeah.
I would both start a Farm Bureau insurance firm.
Yep.
And I would go to work for Northwestern Mutual.
And maybe
because
also
I'm going to write all the auto and life insurance I can write. I'm sorry, auto, home, and life.
Yeah.
And I'm going to write so many,
investment portfolio. Yeah.
Well,
and then
whether
also
it's Roth or pre-tax or simples or SEPs or whatever, it's going to rain money on me because I'm going to go dual. I'm going to hang a shingle as a Farm Bureau insurance agent, and I'm going to go to work for either Mass or Northwestern.
Yeah, and also lend your name to maybe a bar or restaurant. If Walk-Ons wasn't too...
Well, that would just be gravy.
Yeah, if they weren't two LSU owners, they would have already signed him to an NIL deal. I mean, it is truly remarkable that he is there will be a movie about it.
Why hasn't the Atlanta Country Club?
Yeah, right.
I'm trying to think. What is the best NIL deal for Stetson Bennett IV?
In Georgia?
Peter Millar? I love Peter Millar. I'm wearing Peter Millar pants. We can put them on the video later.
Yeah, he'll get anything he wants and then some if he wins a title.
I'm trying to think. What is the best NIL deal for Stetson Bennett IV, Mr. Ranch Dressing, at the Country Club at noon on Sundays?
I mean, there's a Waffle House every 5 miles in Georgia.
No, I'm thinking something more
a ton of money.
Pretentious.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't. The more I've listened to him, he's not as pretentious as I would have hoped.
But it's
his
name.
His name is very pretentious.
It's the name, and it looks like he just walked out of the ATO house.
That's true. They're going to write a movie about him if they win a title.
That guy was doing keg stands.
Yeah.
At the Kappa Sig house. Today he is a national a potential. Bartu told me last night when we talked, he doesn't think that anybody will even challenge Georgia, whether it's this weekend in the semifinals or the finals.
Their defensive efficiency is insane, and there's not an NFL quarterback in front of them. That's the thing. There's no Deshaun Watson. There's no Jameis Winston, Cam Newton. There's no Tebow, Manziel. There's no Dak. There's nobody in front of them that you go, like that's a quarterback who can make enough plays to beat you. It's going to be incredible to watch. You asked the question, though, about Alabama.
Oh, this is... Will you let me get through this? Double Bogey says that his NIL deal should be with Vineyard Vines. That's what I'm talking about.
Are they out of Atlanta?
Doggone says Grey Poupon. Yes, we are going down the right road now. All right, we're going. Of course, Josh says Hidden Valley Ranch. That would be good too. That would be good
I
too.
mean, he is Mr. Ranch.
Vineyard
dressing.
Vines is awesome. I mean, for him, I don't own any.
He could do
Vineyard Vines.
Costas.
Grey Poupon, Hidden Valley Ranch. What was this other one right here? I've got a Band-Aid on my finger, and I can't scroll through this thing like I want to. Oh, True Maroon asks, isn't there a Stetson cologne? Ooh,
I don't know.
there may be.
Isn't Stetson a horse too?
I thought you were going to say something else, and I'm so glad you didn't.
Pretty sure it's a horse.
Okay. Oh, Nick says some fancy blank cigar company. Let me think about that for a second. The show is brought to you by Havana Smoke Shop, 2 locations, Reservoir and I-55 North Frontage Road. A fancy cigar.
Swisher?
No, we're not going with the Swisher. No, we're not. All right, so Liga Privada has some very expensive cigars, and they're Davidoff. Let's go Davidoff. Davidoff is kind of like the not Rolls Royce because that's 1952. Maserati, is that good, Blake?
A Maserati.
Tell me a very off the charts luxury,
like a Bugatti. You could do. You could,
Oh?
I mean, like the Bentley is a very popular high end car.
I think
The new Bentleys.
that's what it is, Bentley.
Yeah, and he
So-
seems
so-
like Stetson Bennett seems like he would ride around in a
The
Bentley.
Zeno Davidoff line is it's you got to bring your check, not your check. You got to bring your wallet with you when you're going Zeno Davidoff. But Liga Privadas have some, 20, 25. They may even have some $30 sticks. I have to check with Brad at Havana Smoke Shop. Good morning. Welcome in. Out of Bounds 105.9 The Zone ESPN. All right. I interrupted you 44 times because you wanted to get into something nerdy. What is it that you want to talk
you mentioned you asked the question about can Georgia blow out Alabama, which I would think would be 2 touchdowns or more, right?
Mm-hmm.
Since 2010, Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide have only lost 4 games by double-digit points.
Can I guess?
Yeah, absolutely.
Did they lose to Ohio State and Zeke and Cardell by that much?
No.
Okay. They were up huge in that game.
Yes.
And then Ohio State, turned the tide, no pun intended, in the third quarter. Utah didn't get them by that much, did they?
No.
Okay. Did Clemson roll them?
44-16 in the 2018 title
Is
game.
that the worst?
That's the worst in his
Can you believe
era.
Dabo and Clemson beat Nick Saban
Yeah.
and the number 1 recruiter 44-16?
That 2018 team was just meh.
Goodness.
And then you had a Clemson team that was loaded.
Okay. Give me some others.
So that was 2018.
Manziel and Bama in 2011 or 11-12, I don't remember. Wasn't that still a close game?
It
Ole
was.
Miss beat them twice.
It was under double digits. So I'm only going. There's only 4 times where they lost by 10 or more points since 2010.
And it wasn't either of the Ole Miss wins.
No.
Okay, go ahead.
So in 2018, that was the most recent Clemson College Football Playoff. In 2017, 26-14, they lost the Iron Bowl by 12 to Auburn. 26-14.
What year was that?
17.
Okay, go ahead.
In 2000,
God, Gus had some tough teams.
yeah, in 2013, the highlight of the Oklahoma Sooners program, they lost the Sugar Bowl to Oklahoma 45-31.
In
Now-
what? In 2013?
13.
That was Bob Stoops.
And that was when Saban's defenses were pretty good. To give up 45 to Oklahoma and the boys.
Who was Oklahoma's quarterback?
In
Sam Bradford was gone.
13, I really wouldn't know off the top of my head. Not anybody that was like super elite, right? I guess.
Because wasn't it after that we went through Baker?
Yeah. Oh, Baker's way after that.
And
yeah.
Kyler Murray and
Hurts.
And
yeah.
Hurts.
That was like 16, 17, 18, 19.
Who was the Oklahoma quarterback
in 2013?
This is post Sam Bradford. Trevor Knight?
Oh,
Was it
yeah.
really?
That's right, because he started the year after that with Heisman chance stuff.
And then he lost his
He disappeared.
mojo.
And then I think he transferred to A&M or something
Okay.
like that. Or
All
transferred out of A&M to Oklahoma. It's something
Cool.
like that. And then 2010, they lost to your boy at South Carolina, 35-21.
Spurrier?
That's right, 35-21
That
to Spurrier.
was when Steven Garcia hit Alshon, what's his name?
Alshon
Jeffrey in the left corner of the end zone in just a beautiful, beautiful play. I did not realize it was that bad.
Yeah.
Spurrier got Saban that bad.
35-21. Yeah.
You know, Spurrier and Jimmy Johnson may, at the end of the day, be the best coaches.
Yeah. X's
ever.
and O's scheme
Yeah.
up coaches. Yeah.
Spurrier never had the best talent, but
that's why Jimmy took the step ahead, because he was able to evaluate and accrue the talent that
Right.
Spurrier didn't.
right.
But it is incredible. So if you average, and I'll go pre-playoff. So for the most of these seasons, Alabama's averaging a minimum 13, a lot of times 14 games a year, because you had 12 regular. They almost always were in the SEC title game, and then they had a bowl game. Out of 130 plus, 140 plus games, Bo, Saban has 4 losses by double digits. 4 times they've lost by double digits.
In how many games?
In the last 11 seasons, so that's like 150 something games.
Wow.
Give or take.
Wow.
Only 4
No, I
times.
think you were right earlier. I think that's north of 160 with all the postseason.
Yeah. So can Georgia blow them out? Of course. Would history tell you that it's likely? Absolutely not.
Okay.
4 times in the last decade and a season that they've done that, and that they've been blown out. That's it just doesn't happen under Nick Saban.
That's so this weekend. Can you imagine if we're sitting there watching the game in the fourth quarter and it's not a game?
Well, and
it's a foregone conclusion that it's not a game. And
Yeah.
we're watching the Alabama Crimson Tide, and they're getting smoked.
Yeah.
And we're just sitting there, and
Going,
people
what
are
the
starting
heck?
to do other things,
Yeah.
like, again, fire up the grill, whatever you're doing on a Saturday. There's no telling what you do. But
I will say those 4 teams that blew them out, you know what I think about? South Carolina under Spurrier, elite offense schematically. Oklahoma under Stoops in 13, elite offense schematically. Clemson in 2018, NFL QB and an elite offense schematically.
no question.
Georgia doesn't have that. So does that play in Alabama's factor of we can maybe hang tight because Kirby doesn't press the issue to – I mean, they beat Arkansas with 13 passes. So let's not pretend like Kirby's dying to throw the ball around the yard. Maybe this game's closer
They
just
beat
because
Arkansas throwing the ball 13
yeah.
times.
And they beat them by like 20 something. I mean, beat the tar out of them.
For all the talk, and obviously you and I love the fact that the game has changed to spreading it out and throwing it around. For all the talk of that,
The best team
Kirby
in the
is
country.
going to win this national title with a 1995 Nebraska Cornhusker type team.
Do you think Stetson could Jay Barker this and
Yes.
have like a 38% completion
Yes.
percentage and win by 30?
Yes.
Yeah.
Stetson Bennett IV is our current day
Yeah.
Jay Barker.
He's Jay Barker reincarnated.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That is amazing. Let's go back. We'll do it during the break and see how many pass attempts Buck Bellew had in 1980 when they won it with Herschel Walker, I think, as a freshman, and Vince Dooley as their. Vince did not like to throw the football. Nobody did, but Vince did not like to throw it. So, where should we set the over/under? 11?
Probably
Buck
something
Bellew,
like that.
1980 national championship game. Well, it really wasn't a national championship game, but whatever. The Out of Bounds Show is brought to you by the Purple Mattress at Muskelly Sleep Store. You know, the Purple Mattress is American made. It instantly adapts to your body, and it does not trap heat. I've been sleeping on one for 5 months, and I love it. An absolute game changer. And we had a blast visiting with Dr. V from the Muskelly Sleep Store on the Purple Mattress. You know, sleep, recovery, rest equals productivity. The Purple Mattress from Muskelly Sleep Store. Try one out at any of their 7 locations. We're live in the BankPlus Studio. Dave Bartu at 9:30.